Hello everyone, my name is Christy. Welcome back to another Spanish lesson. Today we are going to be talking about De Vuelta Pa La Vuelta by Daddy Yankee and Marc Anthony, and I am so excited to share this song with you because it is a great song and because it is a salsa song. I really wanted you guys to be able to hear what salsa music sounds like, and this is legitimately a new and popular song by very relevant artists that is trending right now. So it is the perfect opportunity for you guys to listen to learn Spanish and to listen to a salsa song. Salsa is a very popular style of Latin music that has been around for a long time and is very important in Latin culture. Daddy Yankee is the king of reggaeton. He is Puerto Rican. He has been around for a while. He's been a reggaeton powerhouse. He's actually credited with coining the term reggaeton for when the style of music was developing. Marc Anthony is a very famous salsa singer. He's been around for a while as well. He's one of the most relevant people still making salsa music. He has a wonderful voice. His songs are just great to dance to and great to listen to. He was actually married to Jennifer Lopez, and what you have to understand is that they were like the couple. Like, people were so sad when they broke up. But anyways, one other thing that I wanted to bring up again was after our last song when we did Ropa Cara by Camilo, I showed you guys this list of popular songs that use a cha-cha beat because a lot of times when English songs have a kind of Latin beat, most of the time it's a cha-cha beat. I don't think I've ever heard an English song use a salsa beat. But that being said, I had told this story to you guys about how I googled this to prove to somebody that this was a cha-cha song by The Smooth by Santana. After I posted that video, I tried the same thing with Havana by Camila Cabello, and every single website said salsa. You guys have to understand that this is a travesty. Havana is not a salsa song. I have experience in music and dance, and specifically salsa is my favorite style of dance. This is not a salsa beat. You could probably dance slow salsa to it if you were practicing your basic or something like that. It might feel nice, but this is not a salsa song. If this song came on at the club and you tried to dance salsa to it, you'd probably be confused and be like, why isn't this working? Cha-cha's slower than salsa. It has a different musical rhythm going on in the background. So your question might be, okay, who's right, you or Google? And I would say if you have a PhD in music, if anybody has a PhD in music and they're listening and you want to comment on how this and explain how this is actually a salsa song for some historical or instrumental or rhythmic reason, please do. But what I can tell you as somebody who has an education in music and a lot of salsa dance, this is not a salsa song. This is a cha-cha song. That being said, I think a lot of probably casual music critics who maybe don't have a specialty in Latin music or aren't very educated in different types of Latin music, they probably just hear a happy Latin song and they're like, yeah, salsa. And then probably Wikipedia just quotes that one, and then Wikipedia says salsa, and then everybody's like, yeah, this is a salsa song. And I also wanted to specify for the record, I did see the Grammy or whatever it was, the performance where they had salsa dancers to this song. They were dancing double time, and they were mostly doing tricks. Which aren't salsa steps per se. They were doing lifts, they were doing flips, and they were going with hits in the music, which is fine. But that being said, this is not a salsa song. So I wanted to let you know, if you Google that, that's what it's gonna say, and that's my take on it. So that being said, let's get into De Vuelta Pa La Vuelta. I'm a disaster. Antes de que digas nada, ya tus ojos me confirman todo. Antes means before, so antes de que, you're about to say before what? Digas nada. Digas comes from decir, this, which means to say. This is the subjunctive form of the to form. So this means before you say anything. The subjunctive is often used to say like kind of hypothetical situations. So because she hasn't said anything yet, he's kind of anticipating that she's going to say something. So it's the subjunctive tense. So antes de que digas nada, nada means nothing. But when you say digas nada, in English we say don't say anything, not don't say nothing. But so this means before you say anything. Ya means already. tus ojos, your eyes, confirman, confirmar means to confirm. So confirman is present tense eos form. Me confirman, they are confirming for me. Who's they? Your eyes. Your eyes are confirming everything. Todo means everything. So it's the same in English, like we would say, her eyes did this. Well, you're kind of personifying her eyes, and if her eyes are going to do a verb, they're going to get the they form, not the you form. You personified her eyes, and they are now they. So before you say anything, your eyes confirm everything for me already. Es verdad lo que me dicen. Dicen also comes from decir, it's the they form. Me dicen, they tell me. Es verdad, it's true. Verdad means true. Lo que me dicen, it's true what they tell me. Y para negarlo, negar means to deny or negate. So lo is a pronoun, that means it gets attached to the end of the verb here. And para means in order to, and in order to deny it, ya, it's already. Es muy tarde. Tarde means late, muy means very. It's already too late. So this second line, es verdad lo que me dicen y para negarlo ya es muy tarde. It's true what they tell me, and to deny it, it's already too late. Me cuidaba de persona como tú. Cuidar means to be careful of, so I was careful of. Cuidaba is the past tense, it's imperfect. It's the imperfect form of this verb, which is something that you used to do on a regular basis in the past tense. On a regular base in the past tense. So me cuidaba de persona como tú. So de, when you follow up cuidar with de, you're saying what you're being careful of. I was careful about people like you. Como tú, como means like, so like you. I was careful about people like you. Pero al final, ni modo. Ni modo means it doesn't matter. So al final means at the end or in the end. So, but in the end, it didn't matter. Like, it didn't make a difference. I tried to avoid people like you, but I ended up with you somehow anyway, is what this line basically means. Soy humano. I am human. Soy means I am. It comes from ser, to be. I'm human. Y tengo mucho. Tengo comes from tener. It means I have. And I have mucho. I have many. Más. This Daddy Yankee and Marc Anthony in this song are dropping a lot of S's. So if you see a word with an apostrophe at the end, it probably should have an S at the end. But they're kind of speaking very informally. They're not pronouncing all of the words 100% correctly. So this would totally be confusing if you were listening to this by yourself. You'd be like, ma? What is MA? What does that mean? But there should be an S there. So mucho más defectos de lo que tú sabes. Mucho means a lot, más means more, so a lot more. Defectos, just like in English, it means defects or problems. Tengo mucho más defectos. I have a lot more defects de lo que tú sabes than those that you know about. Lo is a pronoun, that means that. Que is used to indicate, it means that as well, but a lot of times in Spanish, you'll have two words in a row that kind of translate to that. But in English, we would only say that once, but there's a bit more of the connecting words here. So, tengo mucho más defectos de lo que tú sabes. I have a lot more defects than those that you know about, basically. Tú sabes means than those that... Tú sabes means you know. So he's saying than the ones that you know about. Okay, so Daddy Yankee sang that verse. Now Marc Anthony comes in, and this is where the salsa beat drops. It's wonderful. I love it. De mí te burlaste. So burlarse is a verb that means to make fun of somebody. It's a reflexive verb. So the te burlaste, it's saying you didn't make fun of yourself, is what I'm trying to explain to you, because burlaste means you did the verb, and te means you did it to yourself most of the time. Burlarse means to make fun of, but it is a reflexive verb by itself, and you're not making fun of yourself. Even though it's structured te burlaste, don't be confused, because you're burlarseing then to somebody else, at somebody else's expense. He's saying de mí te burlaste, so we're saying it's like you made fun of me. It doesn't strictly mean to make fun of. It can mean to make a fool of, to take advantage of. So de mí te burlaste, you took advantage of me, or you made fun of me, or you belittled me. Y sé, and I know, Que lo hiciste. Hiciste is the past tense of hacer, to do. Lo hiciste, you did it. Sé que lo hiciste, I know that you did it. Con gusto, with pleasure. Gusto means the noun. It's a noun that means pleasure. Con means with. This is also related to the verb gustar, like me gusta, I like to. Gusto is pleasure. Pa eso eres experta. So pa is a common abbreviation of para, which means in order to, or para eso means in this. Eso means this. And he's saying, in this you're an expert. So para eso, it doesn't always mean in order to, but here it means in this you are an expert. So eres comes from ser. We know it's irregular. This is the to form. He's saying you're an expert at burlarse of me. Pa eso eres experta. Apunta si nunca te tiembla el pulso. Now this can be a little confusing because it's out of context if you're learning Spanish, but he's basically comparing her to holding a gun. Apunta means to point. Si nunca, if never, te tiembla. Temblarse means to tremble. El pulso, like your heartbeat. So this is comparing her to like a sniper. And you know, snipers sometimes have to hold their breath. Or I don't know about their heartbeat, if their heartbeat can cause them to miss a shot, but this is basically what he's comparing it to. Pa eso eres experta. In this you're an expert. Apunta, point. Si nunca te tiembla el pulso. If your pulse never causes you to tremble. Cuando haga tus maletas. Haga comes from hacer. This is the subjunctive form. When you make your bags. Hacer means to do or to make. Tus maletas. Maletas is like luggage bags. So when you make your luggage bag, no olvides. Olvidar means to forget. So no olvides. Don't forget. Llevar tu orgullo. Llevar means to take with you. Tu orgullo. Orgullo means pride. So he's saying when you make your bags, don't forget to take your pride with you. Lo vas a necesitar. Necesitar means to need. So you are going, vas is ir, to go. When you are going to need it, pa cuando quieras regresar. Quieras is querer in the subjunctive tense. Para cuando, for when you want to return. Regresar means to return. So again, the subjunctive tense kind of talks about hypothetical situations. So she hasn't returned yet. She might not return. But he's saying you're probably going to want to come back. And if you ever try to come back to me, you're going to need your pride. So right now you should take that with you. He's not inviting her to come back to him. It is an insult because she is so proud in a bad way that she would have the guts to come back to him after what she did. So Marc Anthony comes back in singing here. Those last two lines were Daddy Yankee. Marc Anthony, and he just uses his powerful voice right here. He says, Ya no eres bienvenida aquí. There's a hit in the music. Oh, so good. I love this song. Ya no eres bienvenida aquí. Ya means already. No eres, you are not. Bienvenida means welcome. Aquí means here. So this is very easy to translate. You're already not welcome here. Si tu amor fue una mentira. Una mentira is a lie. Mentir, Mentir is the verb of to lie. Mentira is the noun, a lie. So si at the beginning of a sentence means if. Si tu amor, if your love. Fue is the past tense of ser. If your love was a lie. And vete, we know from our commands video that this is the command form of ir, which is to go, or irse, which means to go. So he's saying leave, get out. Y sé feliz. Se is the command form of ser, so he's saying get out and be happy. No te preocupes por mí. So this is a negative command. Guys, I'm telling you, these grammar videos, you need to watch the grammar videos because it will help you when you try to do this by yourself to understand the rules of why these are the way that they are. So no te preocupes por mí. Preocupar is a verb that means to worry. It's a reflexive verb. So te preocupes means you don't worry. Or it means you worry, but it's in the subjunctive tense because when we have a to command, a negative to command, which means you're telling somebody, a negative command means you're telling them what not to do. So no te preocupes por mí, don't worry about me. Que voy a estar mejor sin ti. Que can be used at the beginning of exclamations, it doesn't really mean anything. Voy a estar mejor sin ti. I am going a estar. I am going to be mejor means better. Sin ti, sin means without. Ti means you. I'm going to be better without you. Anda, that's the command to walk. We know from our commands video that a to command affirmative, which means telling somebody what to do, you use the third person present tense. So anda means I'm giving a to command, I'm giving you a command, but the form is identical to the present tense third person. So this comes from andar, which means to walk. Anda, leave. In this case, he's saying walk, leave. Ve is to go. Dile a la gente. So that means tell everyone. We know that di is the command, the to command form of decir, which means to say. So dile a la gente. La gente means people, people in general. So dile a la gente, that means tell everyone, tell people. Que, he's saying what she's going to tell them. Que yo te. This is actually a bad word here. If you want to go see the lyrics, it is a word that starts with a J. It is a 4-letter word in Spanish. Well, depending on the conjugation. But it's basically equivalent to the F word in English. It basically has all the same connotations and same meanings. So here, dile a la gente, tell everyone que yo te, bad word, that I screwed you over. So he's saying basically he already knows that she's gonna lie and tell everybody that he's the one who did something wrong. He doesn't even care. He just wants her gone. Guys, this video is gonna be so long. I'm so sorry, but you learned about salsa. You learned about Daddy Yankee. We have to get through to the chorus. We're almost there. Pa que no quede mal aquí. So para que means so that. No quede. In all of the lyrics that I saw, it said that this was abbreviated of quedes. Quedes is from quedarse or from quedar, which is to remain or to stay physically in a place. So if it's no quedes mal aquí, that means so that you don't remain here, and mal means bad, so that you don't remain here probably bad-spirited or with your bad energy. Y está claro, so, and it is clear. Claro means clear. Que means that. Y está claro que perdiste. Perdiste is the past tense to form of perder, which means to lose. It has a lot of the same meanings that it does in English. So you can get physically lost. You can not know where you are. You can lose a game. Or you can just lose in a relationship, in life. So this is kind of what he's saying here. Está claro que perdiste. It's clear that you lost. Cuando means when. Me perdiste. So perdiste is again the same as over here. So you lost, but what did you lose? Me perdiste. That's what this pronoun is doing here. So this whole sentence together means it's clear that you lost when you lost me. That's exactly what it is saying. So, está claro que perdiste cuando me perdiste. You lost. This one means in general, like losing a game or losing at life or something. Cuando me perdiste, when you lost me. You can also lose an object. Y yo te perdí. Sorry, there's no te here. I don't know why I wrote that. Y yo perdí cuando te conocí. Conocí comes from conocer. It means to meet someone or to know somebody. So te conocí means when I met you. Cuando te conocí, when I met you. Perdí means I lost. Perdiste means you lost. Perdí means I lost. These are two different conjugations of the same verb perder in the past tense. Perdiste is the past tense of you. Perdí is the past tense of me. By the way, guys, I know I keep saying this, but you should really... I haven't done past tense conjugation videos yet, but I need to. But this is why it's so helpful for you to just even not memorize. You don't need to 100% memorize, but just make it a priority to understand the grammar rules in Spanish, because if you're completely confused by this is so easy. This is just different conjugations of the same verb. But if you only try to learn Spanish just by exposure, you're going to be so confused at the different forms of the same verb. Just go and get kind of an idea of the rules so that when you see the same word in like 5 different forms, that it's not confusing. You at least have an idea of what's going on. Alright, and finally we are at the chorus. So, salsa has a structure to it a lot of the time, not always. but a lot of salsa songs will have a call and response section. That is the montuno section, especially in Cuban salsa, and a lot of Marc Anthony's songs have more of a timba or Cuban salsa feel, at least to me. I think most people would agree with me, as opposed to like mambo or New York style, which I also love. All salsa is amazing. You should definitely listen to salsa. Don't get too worried about different types of salsa yet, because you can dance pretty much any type of salsa to any type of salsa music. But that being said, there are styles that feel better with the different styles of music, and that have evolved with the different styles of music, but it is not necessary that you know about them, unless you're a professional dancer, maybe. Okay, so this is the chorus, and this is the title of the song too. De vuelta pa la vuelta. What does that mean? If you're going to translate this literally, vuelta is a turn. To physically turn something. It can mean you're rotating something. You can give somebody a vuelta when you're dancing. You can turn around. So de vuelta pa la vuelta literally translated means from one turn to the other turn. Para la means like going towards something. Para means like to or towards. So de means from. So from one turn para la vuelta to another turn. But what does this mean here? I think this is Daddy Yankee's way of saying, like, I'm back in the game. I'm back in the action. Like, that's what this feels like to me. I think vuelta is kind of a stand-in for de vuelta, like, from one turn, like, my relationship just ended. This is a turn in my life. Pa la vuelta, it feels to me like to the action. So he's saying I'm back in the game. If you have a different interpretation of this line, leave it below. But I think at this point we're getting more into like lyric and like poetry interpretation than just learning words. Which is why I gave you the literal translation. So this is the call, and then this response happens between each of these responses, the call gets repeated again. In a lot of salsa songs, there's actually like a group of singers that will give the response to the singer's call. But Daddy Yankee here, he's the only one singing, but it still follows a call and response format. So, de vuelta pa la vuelta, voy a amarrar a todas que anden suelta. Voy a, I am going to. Amarrar means to grab or to hold on to, but in this context, it means to get with. So voy a amarrar a todas. So when you just see a todas by itself, it can mean a todas las mujeres. It's kind of abbreviated a little bit. But toda means like everything. And there's todo, which is the male form, and todas, which is the female form. But we know in this context that he's talking about women. To all the women, que, that, anden suelta. Andar means to walk. This is they walk. Anden suelta. Suelta means loose. It's not a bad thing necessarily. Like, you can say suelta, like dancing suelta. You say like, oh, she's loose, she's good, she dances well. But here it means single. Voy a amarrar a todas que anden suelta. I'm gonna get with all the girls who are single. The call gets repeated. Me voy a levantar hasta las que anden muerta. This is kind of a joke. He says, me voy a levantar. I'm going to raise myself. Levantar means to get up or to rise. So, me voy a levantar. I'm going to raise myself hasta, until, or like until, physically until when. Las que anden muerta means the mujeres. This is a pronoun again referring back to what? Referring to the mujeres. Even those que anden muerta. Muerta means dead. So even those that are walking dead. So he's kind of joking. He's like, he's kind of getting back at his girlfriend here. He's like, I'm gonna get with everybody, even dead girls. The call gets repeated again. Trampa, trampita, estás descubierta. So trampa is a trap. It has a lot of the same meanings as in English. Trampita, you just added the ita to the end of this, like trap, little trap. But it's kind of the rhythm that's more important to what he's saying. Trampa, trampita, like trap. Estás descubierta. This means you are discovered. So the way that I take this line is like, I think you can refer to a woman as a trampa, like she is a trap. And then estás descubierta, like I see you, like I discovered you. If you have a different interpretation of this line, let me know in the comments. I'm not 100% sure on this. What I can tell you is the translation of the words. Trampa means trap. Estás descubierta means you are discovered. A call again. Tú tenías la llave. That means you had the key. This is from tener. This is the imperfect tense, which means when you had something on a regular basis, again. So tú tenías, you used to have la llave, the key. Pero te rompí la puerta. Romper means to break. La puerta means the door. So, pero te rompí la puerta. Rompí is the past tense of I did it. So he's saying, but I broke the door. And this te means I broke your door, or I broke the door for you, or in spite of you. So this is just, this, he doesn't literally mean this, but he's saying you had the key, but then I broke your door. So I think he's just saying here, like, I screwed you over. Like, you had the key, you had everything you could have wanted, you were at the finish line, but I'm screwing you over now. Okay, guys, we're not going to do the rest of the song, obviously, because that would take so much time. But that is up through the first chorus of the song De Vuelta Pa La Vuelta by Daddy Yankee and Marc Anthony. I know that this took so long, but go listen to it. Go hear what salsa sounds like. So what's the difference between salsa and cha-cha? I would say for the average person listening to the music, I would say that salsa has a very happy and energetic feeling, but I wouldn't say that most salsa sounds like sexy, quote unquote. But I would say that cha-cha, on the other hand, it is very easy for cha-cha to have a very, very sexy feeling to it, which is why it gets utilized a lot of the times for like very sexy feeling songs like Camila Cabello's Havana, like Low Key. I would say that Low Key, the Ally Brooks song has a very sexy feel to it. Smooth by Santana has a very sexy feel to it. But go ahead and listen to this song. This is a salsa song, and I would say that salsa feels happy and energetic. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have any questions, if you have any different interpretations of any of the lines that I talked about. But thanks, and we'll be back next time.